Go.
All right, welcome back, heavy metal and blues fans. Tonight, we're super honored to have with us COC, Corrosion and Conformity. How's it going?
It's going great, man. My name's Woodrow, and I showed up here at Joliet a little earlier. I've been to this place before. It's been a little while, but anyway, the tour manager shows me a list, and it's like, man, there's some interviews coming up later on, and I look down the list, and I spot heavy metal and booze. And I'm like, give me that one. I'll do that one. So here I am. You got Woodrow.
All right, man. Excellent. Now, most bands wind down their touring around Thanksgiving time, and it usually picks up, well, at least in the Midwest,
Yeah, sometimes. I tell you what, though, I've been on the road many a times and missed Thanksgiving dinner at home.
Yeah.
So it happens. It happens. We don't all get to go home,
But not Father Zakk.
Not Father Zakk.
He decides to put out an album right in January.
That's right.
And hit the road.
We started this tour, not this exact one, but with him 2 days after Christmas. This past Christmas, we started 2 days after Christmas. We did it. We did it
too.
He did. He did during that run.
It's crazy.
It was crazy, yeah. But we did that run. That was like 2 months. And then everybody split up. He's been doing Aussie stuff. We took off and went to Europe and did festivals in South America. And now we're meeting back up, and this is the second show.
Second leg?
The second show of the second leg. So we're stoked. We're stoked.
Well, we saw you on the first leg, and that was right in the middle of January.
Cold.
February.
Was it?
It was early.
Oh, the
February.
album came out in January, and then we saw him in February.
Early
We were
February.
out for all of January and February. Yeah, it was awesome. It was a good run.
So that was in Milwaukee.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember that night, but
The rave, the Eagles or whatever.
Nicholas Ballroom rave.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing. But so we get there and everything's fine. Park the car, go see the show. Everything's fine. By the time we get out, there's a full-blown blizzard.
That happened a lot on that trip. I mean, we were like up in Canada and all these crazy places. And I mean, So I don't particularly remember that day where there was a blizzard, but it was like every day on that tour.
Well, we remember it. I mean, you couldn't see any lines in the road. I'm going 35, 40 the whole way back down here.
Hey, if you live in Illinois, Wisconsin, or you're gonna, and it's February or January. Hey, it's gonna be snow.
You gotta see the metal show. You gotta make your way out there. Some car just had to pass me. I'm like, all right, man, let him go. Next thing you know, you see headlights doing this.
Oh man,
like,
that makes for a memorable evening.
Yeah, it was a good time. So, like, when that happens, when do you guys roll out? Do you just hang out overnight and then hit the?
It depends on where we got to go. Like tonight, I'm looking on the day sheet up there, and it says bus call at 4 a.m.
So you're gonna sleep here around here then?
Well,
hit
at 4 a.m. I mean, I'll be asleep.
Yeah.
At 4 a.m. when we leave, So I might be up until then, but
oh, really? That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
I don't know. No, I'm joking. We'll see.
Yeah, it was freezing that night. We got cousin Phil right in there because he was outside freezing. We're like, "Come on in, cousin Phil."
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
It was good. So, Father Zakk's replaced Jamie Jost as the hardest working man in metal right now. Wouldn't you say?
Well, hey, Jamie stays busy.
He does, but I mean, like, how do you guys keep track of Zakk Sabbath shows and then Ozzy shows and then back with the Black Label?
I tell you what, man, he's all over the place, man. But he does stay busy.
Yeah,
he works, man.
Even when he's not doing a show, he's doing videos online. Like,
that's right.
It's cracking me up, man.
Yeah, so he's got a whole bunch of more stuff lined up, more Ozzy stuff I hear, and one of those Guitar Hero tours coming up, and
the three
whatever
like
it is. Yeah. So he's busy. We're just trying to halfway keep up with him.
Yeah. Well, here's the new CD out right now. No crown, no crosses, no crown. What I like best about this CD is you let the songs grow. You take your time with them.
We did. Well, with this record, we kind of approached it different than we've ever done a record before. We all met up in Raleigh at the studio, and other than just having a few riffs in the back of our brains, all of us separately, we didn't have any of the songs really or anything. We just showed up and wrote and recorded as we went along. There was no demos, no rehearsals, none of that shit. We did it. It was kind of fun.
More expensive that way, though, is it?
Well, that's kind of like our own studio.
Oh,
so
okay.
That wasn't a concern.
So you took your time.
Well, we kind of did, but we did it in like 4 or 5 day sessions because Pepper would fly up from New Orleans, and I would putt down from the mountain. I live up in Virginia, so we all would just meet for 4 or 5 days, record, and at the end of that 4 or 5 days, we would have like 2 songs done.
Wow.
You know, ready to mix later. Yeah, and it was like we just did that, several different sessions over the course of 3 or 4 months, and there you have it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it seems to be working. I like the way the songs grow and you give it time. And that like sludge metal's like one of the words I heard described it as.
Sludge metal. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I like sludge.
Yeah. I got a question here from JP, one of our followers.
All right.
He writes, "Your sound has changed over time. Has that been organic or just like something over time that you changed?"
I think a little bit of both. I mean, it's never been an intentional thing, you know. I mean, obviously, whenever we started back in '82 or whatever, we were kids.
Yeah,
like
36 years.
Yeah, I mean, the first time we went in to make the first record, none of us had ever seen a studio or knew anything about any of that kind of stuff. So as the years go on, you obviously naturally evolve and
so organic then.
and change stuff. And I mean, we've always had the same influences. You know, I mean, our first record was just a bunch of Black Sabbath riffs sped up.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
And so we've always, you know, we still have the same heroes now that we had then, and we just, you know, we always try to do something a little different on every record. We never want to make the same record, so that's a part of it too.
Yeah, that's true. JP wants to know if one of you guys were considered for the bass role for Metallica. When Jason left?
Oh, right. Well, I do know that, you know, we're buddies with the Metallica guys.
Yeah, you guys got a pretty good...
and all that stuff. We've done some traveling with them. But yeah, Pepper did go out and give it a whack. Believe it or not, I know he plays guitar and sings. But you know, he went out and had a good time and, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's all good.
So he's gone from like 5 years rhythm guitar into guitar and singing.
Well, yeah, I mean, really... That started back on the Blind record. The first thing that he really did was Vote with a Bullet off that album. He sang, you know, and that was sort of the beginning of it. But we came around to start working on the Deliverance album, which came out like in '94 or something. And we actually were looking for vocalists. We spent some time like talking to people and had people come and try out. And then eventually we're like,
"Why don't you just do it,
Pepper? Why don't you just fucking sing?" You know?
Yeah, good.
And he did, and it turned out all right. You know, so
yeah.
That's how that happened.
It's got to be a lot harder though, playing and singing.
You got to get used to it. Yeah. Now, luckily, you know, since we have 2 guitar players, sometimes he can. There are songs where he just kicks back and comes in, you know, when the timing is, you know, when it's needed, or if I jump on a solo or something like that, and vice versa, you know. But you know, I'm terrible at singing and playing, but
that's the hardest.
But he's getting, you know, he's been working on it, so he's good.
Yeah. All right, thanks JP for the questions. All right.
If Pepper would have been accepted in Metallica at the time, did the band ever give any thought of what to do next?
Well, you know, it never really progressed very far. I mean, we didn't. No, not really. I mean, you know, who knows? Who knows? That was a long time ago. I can't even really remember that. But
1999, probably. 98, 99.
Whatever.
Early 2000.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, that didn't happen, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Since you're touring with Zakk, do you ever get a moment with him where you can ask him like, "Hey, can you show me some of those pentatonics?"
Yeah. Well, we've been joking about it for a while because you know Zakk, he likes to do some of those joke videos and shit.
Oh yeah, you got to get knocked out or knock him out.
Yeah, one or the other. But yeah, we were joking yesterday. As a matter of fact, we were like, "Man, you know, let's just do this little thing where you come out and you show us the lick of the day, you know, to me and Pepper." You know, because I mean, you know, he's obviously he's got a lot of tricks, you know.
Oh yeah.
And so we're I think we're going to start doing that hopefully pretty soon, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know,
get a little less.
Anytime you can sit down and get a damn guitar lesson from Zakk Wylde, why the fuck not? You know.
Oh yeah, that's a dream right there. Let me see what else we got. Do you have any
heavy metal and booze?
Heavy metal and booze. Well, last month we lost a metal legend, of course, Vinnie Paul. I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure you guys got some kind of stories or what comes to your memory when you think about those guys.
Well, you know, I mean, we always consider them great friends. We spent a lot of time, you know, with him and his brother, and you know, we did some traveling with Pantera back in the day, and you know, I mean, it's
craziness.
Lots of craziness.
Yeah.
Lots of craziness. I mean, you know, obviously you can imagine, but spent a few, more than one night, actually with the Metallica guys and us all going down to Vinnie's club that he's got there in the Dallas Fort Worth area, and so I can remember all that kind of stuff, and just one trip we went down to Australia. We did an Australia-New Zealand trip with Pantera. I think it was one of their last things that they did as a full band, but before they kind of broke up or whatever. But oh man, all kind of crazy stuff. We chartered a fishing boat that pulled out of Sydney Harbor and went out there, and Dime was on the thing, and all he did was just like lay on a couch. It was like we had to get up like really early, but he was a trooper, man. He got up and went on the damn boat with us. And
did you get any fish, or was it just?
No, we didn't even catch shit, man. We spent like 8 hours out there.
So
didn't catch
sunburn
shit.
And
just all luckily we brought a cooler with us, so it was all good. But man, there's a lot of good memories, and may he rest in peace, both of them.
Yeah.
Was that the rumored boating trip where he had the Stanley Cup with him after Dallas won? Because supposedly
he didn't have the Stanley Cup with him, but
supposedly he dented the cup and had to have it fixed. But this is according to Wikipedia. Anybody can write
I
it
can
down
believe
there.
that. Yeah, I don't know. This is different because we were in Australia, So
yeah.
Yeah, that was. But lots of good stories, man.
Do you have any favorite songs that you look forward to playing?
Yeah, I do. I mean, we're trying to switch it up a little bit on this and play a little more stuff off of New One. But man, after you get like 9, 10, 11 albums under the belt, you got a lot of stuff to choose from, and it's kind of, sometimes it's hard, especially on a support slot like this tour. We're looking forward to doing some more headlining dates later in the new year, but I mean, it's kind of tough,
You got to take your vote in.
Yeah, we do. Everybody, and we try to change things up, but there's certain songs that sort of you want to have in there. People expect to hear, that people always want to hear some of the hits, the classics, and then we try to switch it up, and we're trying to get as many of the new ones in right now. We'll probably play at least a couple of the new ones tonight.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's this album right here. No Cross, No Crown.
That's right.
On tour right now and direct support for Black Label Society. Coming up, you guys got Oklahoma City, Wichita, Kansas, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Hartford, Connecticut, Knoxville, Tennessee, Charlotte, North Carolina.
We got all that shit, man.
You guys get your tickets.
Yeah, come on. Come see us.
Now, we got a lot of new followers that joined the page lately, so if you want to see more interviews like the one we just did, click on the videos and scroll through them. Like the one Kevin did with Diamond Head. I think you'll like that one.
And Michelangelo video.
Yeah, check that one out too.
Do it. Check it out. I know you guys are busy. You got more bands coming through, and you were talking earlier. You got a lot of stuff coming up. So.
Coming up, we got Jungle Rot, and then Act of Defiance, and Armored Satan all on the same night. So stay tuned and keep an eye out.
Before we go, something I like to ask every interviewee is for people out there who are struggling or not quite getting to where they need to get. Is there anything inspirational you could say to them?
Like you talking about like musically, like
even
bands,
if it's music or
like
if it's just life in general.
Man, I know it can get tough on people, but you just got to hang in there. You got to hang in there, just breeze through the tough times because it always gets better in the end, And but a lot of times, musically, some kids will come up and they got a band or whatever, and they're like, well, how do we get it happening? I'm like, man, most importantly, avoid all the damn trends, because if you're chasing something, by the time you do anything, that trend's going to be long in the rearview mirror. You got to stay true to yourself, do your thing, be original, make your own thing happen, man. Hopefully that's what the kids do. That's that's who I respect when people get out there and do their thing.
Right.
Well, over 30 years, how much have you seen the scene change?
Man, a lot, because if you think about it, in the very early days, we had the pleasure of like being able to tour with a lot of different kind of bands, everything from like the Ramones to Slayer, and then maybe we do like a Bad Brains tour or something. But we were sort of flexible, man. But there was like a time period where punk rockers and heavy metal dudes didn't get along. Way back in the day, and that was always a freaky thing. Luckily that didn't last that long.
And then it was the alternative bands and the heavy metal bands.
Yeah, so but nowadays it's like everybody's
it's
cool.
one big mix.
It's one big, people like music, they like music. So I've seen that kind of stuff change, and for the better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people get out there and the Mohawk dudes are fighting with the long-haired dudes, and it's like, whoa, come on, dudes,
Or the glam dudes and the heavy metal dudes. I remember that too.
I don't know, man. Yeah, but so that's one positive thing for the better. So all good. Good job out there, kids.
All right, yeah, that's what we're doing.
Support each other, man.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
You got it. Cheers to you.
Cheers.